Hi again. Probably our most important environments are those where we live, work and play, and for some, the places where they are obliged to spend most of their time. For example, institutional environments for the aged, care, hospitals and prisons. In these contexts, person-environment fit or person-environment congruence continues to be of primary importance for the well-being of both the people and the environment. Yet all too often, built environment professionals such as architects, designers or engineers are not aware of fully what designing for congruence really involves. At first, too, this idea focused on the design of built environments and machines to fit the capacities, needs and wants of people. But once we understand that we all depend on the health of the natural environment for our survival, we realise that also we must design to better fit the natural environment, hence the idea of sustainability. But an ecological worldview centred on harmony with nature and sustainability conflicts with the long dominant, for want of a better word, economic worldview that's dedicated to economic growth, where the natural environment is really just seen as a resource to be used and exploited. In the design of built environments, I think it's fair to say economic factors still dominate, and both the natural world and human well-being take second place to the profit motive and economic growth. Now, which do you think is more important, gross national product or gross national happiness? An idea first proposed in 1972 by the King of Bhutan. But thankfully, it's not all bad news. Things are changing. Change is a theme of this unit, you might remember from Module 1. Changing behaviour toward a more sustainable relationship with our environment, the natural environment in particular. For us as individuals, this is nowhere more important than in the design of our residential and work environments and in the leisure choices we make. Here, the concepts of biophilic design, that is, life-enhancing design, and psychological restoration are gaining recognition. Many are realising that residential, work and natural and leisure environments need to be restorative in order to deal with the modern stresses of time pressure, multitasking and information overload. Biophilia and restoration come together in what is known as restorative environmental design, the aim of which, quoting from Dr. Stephen Kellett, who I might add was an examiner of my PhD many years ago, is to reduce the adverse effects of modern design and development on natural systems and human health, and to promote more positive contact between nature and people in the built environment. In my biophilically designed environment, you might hear the occasional bird call or cicadas singing, or even the sound of running water. The health of the natural environment and the health and well-being of people are not really opposites, but rather they go together, especially if we want to promote gross national happiness. That itself may be the best way to deal with the rising epidemic of mental illness. Coming to grips with time is a problem, though. We humans operate in the very short term. Next month, this year, next year, 5 to 10 years maybe. Much beyond that is not really on our radar. Our rapidly changing built and social environment doesn't help, as we find ourselves on a constant treadmill trying to keep up with change. How far in the future do you think you can actually predict or project your existence, honestly? The natural environment, on the other hand, operates on timescales that are far beyond our comprehension. Even in times of relatively rapid change, we rarely see anything happening in front of our eyes. We don't see the sea level or temperature rising consistently, so we don't really take it seriously. And changes in the order of mere centimetres or 1 or 2 degrees in 100 years don't really register with us. This is all the more important for people who live in cities and urban areas, away from natural cues such as the dryness of the land, the health of the natural vegetation, or even the weather. But all of us need to register this big picture in order to acquire an environmental consciousness, one that can help us get off the treadmill and look more critically at the way we design our homes, workplaces, and leisure environments. So we start to promote both a healthy natural environment and the gross national happiness and health of all people.